All right, welcome back everyone, and let me add Seb and Jamila to the stream. You've been long awaited, both of you. We've been missing you from the sessions. Thanks for being again here.
Thank you, Ashish. Yes, I've been quite busy in the past couple of weeks, but I'm so happy to be back, to be on air, and with our participants. This is
Yeah,
great.
Nice.
How about you?
yeah. Hey, Ashish, hey, Jamila. I would like to say that I've been busy, but for the first couple of weeks of April, I was on holiday, so that I have no excuse. But I'm super excited to be back, and Ashish, I cannot be thankful enough for you to give us, this time and space in the Beza program to just chat about startups because this is what we're really
Yeah, I
passionate
mean, startup is like, why not? Like, there are a lot of buzz things around happening. People have incredible ideas, and you people help them in materializing those ideas or getting them into action. So it's good to hear from you. So I would like to talk about that, and but I have a question just to set context here. Like, how you say what is a startup? I personally have an idea. Would I call myself as a startup? Or is there a specific definition AWS looks for how a startup is formulated, or what are some basic characteristics you look into a startup?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Thanks
Yeah.
for that. And I guess it really the definition of a startup varies according to the stages that we categorize them in. So, for example, sorry for those who don't know me on the stream. I'm a solutions architect, and I've been with AWS for almost 4 years. In the last year or so, I focused on working with early stage startups. So for me, I focus on really top of the funnel activities, which involve companies that are very early in their stage of development. So it could be I'm working with just a couple of technical founders or like business founders, and they're looking their way into building a technical strategy. And so for me is anybody who's probably a company that was funded by less than 2 years, they're still like in seeding stage or pre major seeding. I would say sometimes I work with founders who just bootstrap their startup with their own um, package
Own money.
of money, or like their funding, or
Yeah.
like they're into credits. So that is my perspective, and there are so many of them. But I guess that when you get to a more mature stage, the definition of startup changes according to the engagement that they have with AWS as well. Jamila, anything from your side? Because yeah, I know that
Yeah.
you work with more mature customers.
Yes, exactly. That's an interesting question, Ashish, because that's what I was also thinking to open up this conversation on what is actually startup. So if we read basically from Wikipedia or from any other sources, um, startups meaning you have an idea, which is innovative, which will hopefully disrupt the market and the way we are doing things, which will be completely different and transformed. It means not necessarily you have customers and you have revenue or traction of revenue that you are successful, but at least you have proven with your background or with your with founders and technical founders to see that you have the skill set or you have the that eagerness to acquire those skill sets and you believe in your vision and idea to make that happen. So in early stage startups in AWS that we are working, we have like lots of them. So I don't want to say numbers, it's probably confidential, but we have lots of them. And how we actually cherry pick them or how we actually start building relationships and developing them is also looking at how people are willing to go extra mile, what services they're using, what are the opportunities they're looking for, and where we can come and unlock them. So if the person, for example, we connect and says, oh, I have this problem, just fix it for me, well, we can fix it for sure,
Hmm.
but is it sustainable? Like we provide a solution, and then how this person can take it and make it bigger, better by themselves. If we see that potential and if we see that eagerness from founders, from CTOs, from the startups team, we are doubling down and we're trying to help. We help them and then we leave them somehow alone, meaning we give them space to implement and they're moving fast. So we don't have to kind of chase them. So within a week or two, things might dramatically change and they can come back to us that, hey, we did this, these are the results. What are your thoughts? What are the follow ups we need to do? In that case, we are kind of the solutions architects. We come and support further within my territory that I'm working as a solutions architect with startups. I have more engaged customers, meaning not like conversationally engaged, which is the case as well, but also like they're a little bit more mature, probably Series A, um, later stage of seed. They have a little bit of traction. They have their customer base. They know what they're doing. Like the stage that they are in, they want to probably scale. I have a couple of customers that are scaling across different geos. They're trying to find a product market fit in the new geo and what are
Mhm.
the specific services that can unlock and help them during their scale up. Um, and alongside of these customers, I do really enjoy working with early stage, like we call it them greenfield, that are they have an idea or they want to build an MVP, they believe in it, but they don't know how to start. And in this session, we will cover with Giuseppe what are the resources and how we can actually help them at scale, because we cannot talk to millions of people, right? We physically cannot, but we have tools and techniques in place which can help them to achieve their goals.
Yeah, and another detail that I would add there is the fact that we have capillary, like geographic presence. So myself and Jamila, we're part of the UK and Ireland team, but we have let's say correspondents or like similar roles into other geos. And again, we have resources that are also tailored to those specific markets, because we have seen that across even across Europe there are some fundamental differences in the type of entrepreneurs that come to us and they're pitching their ideas, and they want to build on top of the AWS. What I see in the early stage, for example, is that I think we see like a bimodal distribution of customers. We have customers that have built their businesses over and over again. They've been battle tested by the market. They are very savvy and deeply verticalized in their in their field of expertise, but maybe they don't have enough visibility on what the cloud ecosystem is, and so they come
Mhm.
to us with very specific pain points, and they would like us to help them progress with the development of a particular business case in their business. And on the other hand, we have people who probably like solopreneurs or like a small group of entrepreneurs that put together resources, and not only they're asking us for advice about how to build their technological strategy on AWS, but also they can benefit from the learnings that we had as the huge business that we are. I mean, we as well as a business, I wasn't there. I was only 7 years old when Amazon started, but we started in a garage. We started with the mindset of a startup. We try to over-index in the idea of always focusing on day one and the potential for growth that all of the ideas we have. We've tried to encode that into our leadership principle, and I think it's a day-to-day challenge to adhere to them, because they're always challenging us back, right? Even if you try to stick to them as much as possible. So I guess that this is the kind of philosophy that we get when we think of startup. Like we would like to see ourselves as founders, and we try to put ourselves into the shoes of founders every day, and we try to like um, shift our customer obsession even from the perspective of like different geographies and like what do their market look like. And as you know, we're moving today in a very volatile market, so that also poses us very specific challenges. that maybe enterprise customers are. I mean, enterprise customer may be weathering better the macroeconomic conditions that we're observing today. So there is definitely a specific interest in and a specific dedication of resources to build tools and mechanisms and platforms for startups to build and thrive on AWS.
Nice, good, thank you. So I took like a lot of time to get some understanding, but yeah, I think it was important. Now I'll hand it over to you. Let me know if you want to present something or you want to walk us through something, so I can share screen.
Sure. So I guess that we, Jamila, can I say that we didn't really prepare like a fully fledged speech?
Sure.
We This is how we kind of try to do things in startup. Like we are scrappy. We know that we must change and change
Mhm.
really quickly. So first of all, I would invite the audience, if you have any question, just feel free to float us
Mhm.
with question. That would be the first recommendation. And then the second thing that I wanted to discuss to you, Jamila, you've been working with more engaged customer, more mature customers. But I guess that every startup or like every business opportunity starts with a good pitch. And I know that you've been involved into an initiative that we are sponsoring as AWS to basically help solopreneurs or small groups of entrepreneurs to build a pitch with a punch. Do you have any characteristic that we could share with the rest of the audience today?
Sure. Thank you, Giuseppe. Um, for sure, like it's really interesting to see and to be able to attend into those kind of in these events where you see kind of passion, hunger, kind of the energy of people who really believe into their ideas, and some of them are really cool ideas. And I do believe that if they start building that product, it will change the things, or it will make things better than what we are used to see. Um, Main kind of trend I've seen across this kind of during these pitch events and kind of the early stage, like people when they're starting to put together something and build something valuable, is that they focus a lot on. Ashish, can you please bring us all back? I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah, I
to
mean,
myself.
I'm doing it just a minute.
It
Yeah,
feels odd that I will be talking to us. Thank you.
I
no,
would
I
also
was
be scared to be
experimenting.
the only thing in the
Exactly, yeah. That's all right. Thank you. So the main thing that I would recommend from, I don't know, probably personal perspective as well, like they they focus too much on how cool their product or their idea and their vision is, which is great. You should be neglecting that part. But what you should be focusing at the beginning as well, what is the problem you're solving? What is the question? Like, what is the data point? For example, if it's related to medical things, like, oh, we invented, for example, a mattress or a pillow, which will help with I don't know, mental health or with eczema or any other issues, right? It's cool that you have mattress or a pillow in place, right? You show the numbers that how much it will cost. You did all this analysis, which is great, but why? Like, what is the problem you're solving? Why these people are not going to therapists or friends, or I don't know, like to address their mental health issues, or why they're not going to doctors and healing their eczema issues? Why do you think the mattress or the pillow is the thing that they should be using to solve their problem? Like, can you address that problem and can you show me the gap that currently is in the market? And it's not being addressed for whatsoever reason. If you have the reason, please include there too, and then bring in your product that, hey, I know what are the ins and outs, and this is what I'm proposing, and these are the numbers. Then perfect. This was the first question I asked, like, why do you think these people won't be addressing by going to the doctors? And they said, because the treatments are not there yet. Well, can you show me some studies that some people, maybe they went to the doctors, they took some medicine, I don't know, they did something, but it's still not there. Like, show me the percentage, show me the geo, show me the age range that these are the people usually struggling with these problems, that the medicine in the market or the pills in the market are not targeted for those specific groups, and we are coming here and solving this problem by providing this and that. That could be convincing for me as to kind of evaluating their vision and the product. On the other hand, if it's something related to tech, um, it will be great to have like scrappy, at least an MVP or even a web page, right? And with Giuseppe, we will discuss as well, like, what are the resources? Like, you have something in your mind, right? But you don't know where to start. Maybe you don't have even skill set properly to build something from scratch. What do you think, Giuseppe, on MVP side of things?
Well, on the MVP side, I've seen so many examples
Can you
of.
elaborate MVP just in case?
Oh, that's a good
Sorry?
idea.
Yeah, MVP,
Oh yeah, so MVP stands for a minimum viable product, and
minimum viable product. Okay.
yeah, and this is a concept that we have in product development, and it kind of emphasizes the fact that you are trying to create a product with just like the bare minimum features and the bare minimum attractiveness for every customers, so that you can gather feedback and move on to further development. So I would say that the primary goal of an MVP is to quickly test and validate the core value proposition of your product or a service that you're building out, uh, while also trying to be frugal with the resources that you're spending on it, because you're just testing the waters really. And I guess that I highly resonate with the idea of MVPs because they're close to a core leadership principle at Amazon, which is customer obsession. At the end of the day, you could have had the best and the most original idea. But at the end of the day, the market and customers will actually guide your intuition into building a product that, looking back, it's going to be absolutely completely different. Maybe it's a completely revolutionized idea of the thing that you actually started with, and so in a way, it really marries well with some of the um, like the business models that early stage startups are going after, and it really marries well with some technological support that we at AWS at Amazon we have built over years and years of experience for example, like building architectures that can scale really quickly by leveraging serverless offerings, because those really marry well with the idea of, okay, we'll start really small. We'll start with this with a bucket of features which is really frugal, and then I'll guide my intuition, I'll guide my product design by constantly building a feedback loop with my customers, and that's at the core. And this is something that I recommend. I cannot recommend enough to everybody who's actually building a product out there. For example, even before even thinking about writing a line of code, just go out there, go in the market, get an idea of what could be viable for your customers, but close the feedback loop as early as possible, because customer voice is an invaluable resource, and it is at the core of building really successful products. And we had a lot of examples at Amazon, but you can see a lot of examples all over the place. I have some of the customers that I work with are doing excellent job in doing this, and they seek validation from customers. They seek engagement with them, even before actually deploying a resource on an AWS account. They have a large social media presence. They close the feedback loop really early. This is like what I would suggest. And then
So
um,
I have a question here. So
yeah,
feedback loop you are talking about in the sense like, okay, I have an idea, I have run it through multiple people and I'm collecting feedback and improving it. That's what a feedback loop is.
exactly. So I want to close that as early as possible, because um, I again I could have a fantastic business idea, but if it's not solving a customer problem,
Hmm.
uh, that's going to be useful for you and maybe just a couple of users, but are you really investing the time wisely in building something that does not resonate with the market? And this is, you know, part of a philosophy that we have in product development, which is working backwards. So you start with your customer, you start to understand what insights you have about them, and then you move actually forward, trying to putting yourself in their shoes. You ask yourself, you know, what is the prevailing customer problem, or what is the business opportunity that that problem underlies, and also there is I say, a kind of painful work of going through the data and having, I would say, back and forth conversation with different group of customers. But at the end of the day, they will drive your intuition, and they will help you build a product that is lovable. And that's the next stage of an MVP, which is an MLP, like the minimum lovable product.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that like a further step that actually really focuses on the end-to-end experience of the user, and that is something that, you know, you should focus once you have built a community, once you've built your audience, and once you have uh, a like some actionable kind of product. I would say so.
There is.
This is where I stand.
Thank you, Giuseppe. I hope it answers your question, Ashish. Was
Yeah, it completely answers it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. There is a question in the chat. Based on the earlier session today, what in your opinion will be the best strategy to get AWS architecture internship opportunities, especially in the sort of area that you and Giuseppe are in? Um, I'd like to address this because my answer then will kind of pass over to Giuseppe and to our next kind of section of the topic that we want to cover. First of all, it's great that you already have something in your mind, that you already know what you want to do and the steps you need to complete, meaning that you're looking for internship opportunities or for other opportunities. I would highly recommend looking for, so I don't know who is this person, what is the stage of your career. So I'm just going to throw out some generalizations. So we have a program called TechU, which hires students or like grads people to AWS. They train them there for a specific amount of time, and then these people are being allocated to the teams respectively. Currently in our team, in solutions architecture, working with startups, that in our team and in our org, we have a couple of people that are TechU grads. So they graduated from TechU program. Yes, thank you. They graduate from TechU program, and they are starting to work as solutions architect as myself, as Giuseppe, in the same team, and having a mentorship from senior SAs and management as well. So depending, of course, on your career, there are different programs. As Liz mentioned as well in earlier session, that you can, if you know what you want to do specifically and what type of customers you want to work and in which industry, you can go and work for those customers that are using AWS as well, which will probably help you later down the line move to AWS and work with those specific customers while being in AWS. So I would say it's not like one way door decision, like you make a decision and then there is no way back. It's a two-way door decision. Either you go with programs, you take internship in AWS, or you go work with partners or customers, this segment that you're really interested, let's say startups. And then later down the line, if you still want to make move to AWS and work in AWS, then you can kind of move back or move to AWS and work with those customers as well. This is also an option. Another option I was thinking is that if you're looking for an internship opportunities, meaning probably you are somehow early in your career or you want to upskill or get some hands-on experience on something, or specifically like AWS and architecture, then we have something exciting coming up with which I want Giuseppe to kind of highlight on that, like the Twitch stream that you can and anyone else can basically join and see how to build a startup on AWS. So Giuseppe, over to you to give some information on
Oh yeah.
Let's Build a Startup, which will be focused not only for startups, right, also for people who can actually get some learnings and apply it to their day-to-day life, upskill themselves, and probably they will be able also to build a startup, right?
Yeah, and I know that like the beta program was thought with the idea of helping you becoming a solutions architect, but the skill set that a solutions architect has is really versatile, and it really helps you building a tech career in general. And for those of you who may be interested in not going and working for like an employer, but actually building their own business, I think it's again, AWS provides a lot of resources. One of the things that we're trying to do, and for us it's a huge experiment, and hopefully it's going to go well, but it's this let's call it a startup summer camp that we're going to run between June and July. We are focusing on the idea of like how to help and how to enable you to build an MVP. So we're gonna have a look at the services that we have seen used across a large number of startups to actually, uh, get to the market, test the waters with a technological product as soon as possible and as frugally as possible. So we'll have a look at not only like the let's say the most cost effective way of building onto AWS and the most secure way of building onto AWS, but also all of the resources that you have available. We'll go through it today, probably in the next 10 minutes. But yeah, we're gonna start on June the 8th at 9 a.m. BST time. And for 2 weeks, we're gonna go through topics like how do I deploy my first web application on AWS? Like one of the challenges that we've seen customers struggling with is, oh yeah, I have this application, but like now I have to add authentication, and I don't want to cause friction in my customer funnel. So like, how can I do social authentication with it, for example? And we have a very quick way to get you there. It's really quick and easy to get started. Where you can find is so the let me just put a link into the chat. And this is just basically the official AWS channel on Twitch, which is twitch.tv.
And we will put that link into our resources section. So for people who are watching after this on YouTube, they should also be able to get it. So this is the channel which is just there. Details we will be sharing, and then timing and all you could check from there. So that could be a good interesting thing. Yeah,
Absolutely.
nice.
And so the kind of topic that we're gonna cover, they will span all over from like, oh, deploy my first web application, all the way down to like infuse AI and ML, build a personalized experience, but also we'll touch upon generative AI, which we've seen that this is a huge topic right now, and it can open up a lot of business opportunities if you're interested in taking the entrepreneurial road. So yeah, I guess this is something that we're putting a lot of effort in. We would like to have your feedback, and if this works, we would like to repeat this in the future by providing updates on available services, and always sharpening our intuition for building as quickly as possible and as frugal as possible. So Ashish, thanks for having us here today. And oh yeah, fantastic. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you very much for sharing, Ashish, and Parna, especially for all these details. She is a hero working behind the scene as always. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I'd like to read out loud Parna's question in the chat. Did you ever have to work with any startup idea which was not technically viable on AWS, and how did you approach it?
This is a very interesting question. So I in my experience, also as a former founder, the technicality of a startup is not really the main problem here, unless you like I don't know, you're trying to virtualize a brain or my consciousness
Yeah,
on the
telekinesis.
cloud. Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to do that, it will be really interesting to talk with you. That's a dream of mine. Um, but um, but maybe you want to start by taking a step back and see, why, or like what is the actual challenge that you're facing there, and is that the is that the technology really the main blocker? Because for a lot of founders, technology is just a mean to an end, right? It's just how articulate a system I have to build to actually take me from A to B, and usually that A to B is their business idea. So like, how can I build a viable system? Sometimes it's not, the problem is not technological. Sometimes it's related to the resources that you would have to put in place, in terms of how large your development team is going to be, or the sheer amount of money that you probably have to invest. Let's say if you wanted to start today to train like an LLM, a large language model, that was probably going to take you billions of dollars to do that. So I've hardly seen that the main blocker is technological, because you can throw people like us into the mix, and we'll try to find the best solution for that. And again, it's also rescoping your problem, so that we can work backwards from it and find the best solution. So maybe you're trying to tackle too much at the same time, and maybe you want to into a particular business problem or a particular business domain that you want to tackle, and basically, again, thinking of working backwards. You want to go from A to B, and then you start building a roadmap of all of the steps, or all of the pieces of puzzles that you have to put together. I've seen many customers actually taking this approach, and becoming serial entrepreneurs, because they had a huge idea in mind, but to get from A to B, they had to take several steps, and one of those steps was actually, oh, let's build a startup that actually tackles that exact piece of the puzzle, and then they build an ecosystem around that. So yeah, to in a nutshell, uh, technology is rarely
Mhm.
the issue. It's more about like how you frame your business problem so that it can be solved with technology.
Thank you, Giuseppe. I think you answered perfectly well. That I don't have anything to add, but rather I'd like to focus on another question, which says, "Hi, is there any trial process? Hi, is there any trial process for these startups?" Well,
Oh,
meaning, if I can take this question,
yeah.
what do you mean by trial process? Like, we don't look at, oh, we're gonna work with you, and then what happens? Like, we don't put any specific timeline as solutions architects from AWS that there's like a trialing process for the startups. We do work with everyone. Yeah, we do have like segmentations, like early stage startups, a little bit mature startups, super mature startups. So we have kind of segmentations, but we don't put any trial process for these startups, if I understood your question correctly. On the other hand, what we also have, like, if you are if you have an idea and you want to build it on AWS, there are resources. Like, I understand, not so, like, people can think, oh, it might be expensive, like I'm trying to build my company, I don't have funding yet, I'm maybe bootstrapping, how AWS can help me with that. For that, we have programs like Activate. You basically submit your ideas, your details, meaning your what you are trying to build, and then credits hopefully um, will be granted based on the specific criteria of Activate program. Like AWS free trial resources to test
Yeah,
my.
means that he explained the question. So Tom explained the question like, okay, so trial period in the sense, will
Mhm.
AWS give me some resources to test my technical viable solution?
Um, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
go
If you
on.
share my screen,
Mhm.
I have a few things to show you. Um,
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
put
I'll add screen. Give
Yeah,
me a
I
minute.
added the screen. Sounds good. So Jamil, I think you were alluding to the
Yeah,
Activate console, right?
activate
This is the
console for sure.
first. Let me grab a link here. Whoop, and I'll put it down in the chat box. Whoop. Sorry, my laptop is starting to take off. So the first thing is I would highly recommend you to have a look at the AWS Activate console. It is in your AWS account, and it is, I would say, an automatic dashboard for resources that are mostly relevant to you, and so that's the first step. The second step is that we have credits, AWS credits offering on top uh, of the free tier, which is I would say already really comprehensive when you first create your AWS account. So you have 3 hours of compute, you have 3 hours of usage of databases. You can build, I would say, a minimal viable product closely to zero. I've done this in the past, and again, the technology wasn't really the problem. So if you take a serverless approach, you have millions of invocations for free every month of Lambda functions. So that is also a way that you can think about this. But then, if you have an idea and you want to test the waters, we have a package of credit that is called oh my god, I forgot about this. It is a bootstrap. So it's around $1,000 in credits for your AWS resources, and also for business support. And that is one of the things. But then, if you are really serious about this and you're taking your ideas to accelerators, we can get you up to $100,000 in credits. With that requires a bit more of due diligence, but the customers I work with, they are generally working on credits, so that really gives you a good let's say substrata of resources to start building.
And
um,
sorry, Giuseppe, and I'd like to add quick point that in Activate Console, if I'm not mistaken, there are also templates, like templates of solutions that you can go and deploy immediately in your account, and then see actually how things are working together, how they're tied together, what would you want to take from that solution and implement on your own environment for your own startup. So it's not like a blank space where we throw money out of it and just say go build. It's not like that, and but rather to kind of help customers to actually start building and kind of invest in their potential and in their ideas, rather than just kind of sucking their energy out and just saying, hey, just go and build, figure out yourself.
yeah.
So Activate Console, yeah, is one of my go-to resources that I recommend early stage customers as well.
Yeah, and I'll jump on a consideration that you made, which is, sometimes money is the problem, but in other times, even most valuable resource is knowledge, and like having a different opinion, like seeking the right perspective. And to do this, I would recommend to actually root down to the AWS Startup Loft. And the reason for that, the main reason for that is actually because, well, we have a lot of resources, we have a lot of events that are tailored to startups. They're all free to join. They're both virtual and in real life, in person. And also we have a resource library for all of the past events that you may want to review. We are both on the technical and the business side, but probably one of the most interesting resources that we have here is the Ask an Expert feature. This is where you can book your one-to-one meeting with one of us. I publish slots here monthly. Jamila, I know you do that too. But you see, like, we for the next calendar month, you have every day available here. For example, we have not only AWS experts, but we also have experts coming from partners. So if you have a specific issue, like, for example, I don't know, with machine learning, let me see. So you have like machine learning engineers that you could pick their brains, and this is again absolutely for free. you can book into a session. We also have experts who, like myself, I'm bilingual. I speak Italian as well. So I mean, depending on your background. So we have a lot of resources there. And again, knowledge is probably something that is really important in early stages. Other stuff, I think that what I recommend the most to my customers is to actually run AWS workshops on their own, maybe on their AWS account. And this, it's likely that you can do that with little expense or within the free tier. So this, like, where I think workshops are probably the most valuable resources, because it's like a step by step guide to get you started on a particular service, or like actually achieve a business outcome. So for example, this one that I get here, how to build your first CRUD API in 45 minutes or less, and that is being built by very smart people at AWS, experts in the field. So you're sure that you will be building on top of the best practices there. Anything else that I forgot, Jamie?
I wanted to add that recently we have added into Startup Loft about a Startup Academy. And what we're trying to do there, last time I was presenting, is we don't want to, like, we want to focus on customer problem first and work backwards, and we want to implement it kind of as a webinar and work together, and like kind of work together with solutions architects and show the customer problem, how we are solving it, kind of, and working backwards. So one of the sessions I delivered last time was AWS Startup Academy, choosing the right database for your startup. So we discussed the problem, and then it was like a conversational. We had like a technical demo, we had an architecture review, and we were not just kind of talking about all the databases that out there on AWS, but rather talking about what was the problem and why XYZ databases will fit the customer's need, or based on the specific problem they are experiencing. So it also we also gave it like a glimpse of how we are working, the way of our work. So like, we just don't go to customer meeting and just say, hey, we're so cool, we have X amount of databases that you need to use, right? We don't work like that. And I think this will be also a good kind of opportunity for you to build your kind of resume, your portfolio of the way you're working. If you're working currently with customers, try to exercise that with your customers. Like, try to first focus on their problem and work backwards, and use this as a stepping stone for your next big gig, right? Use this as a scenario to talk during your interview for the next job opportunities. And don't hesitate to share with the interviewer that you learned from BESA program, or from you watched a YouTube video. It shows your learn and be curiosity, right? It shows that you are open, you're out there, you know what's happening in the world, you are up to date, and you're not just throwing the words out there, but you actually take it, implement it, you improve something within your current company, within your current skill set, and you progress. I think this is also important for your career.
Sounds great. I think the last nugget I wanted to share, it's not just a like a learning resource, but actually some insights that I got from customers working with them, and how they're actually got really quickly into a monetization path. So I've seen customers extremely happy to launch their ideas and their startup on the AWS marketplace. So this is one of the customers that I worked with. They have launched their product, their API, onto the AWS marketplace really quickly. I think we had a turnout of 15 days or something like that. And they're basically
That's epic. Can you zoom in a little bit so that we could
oh,
see it?
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is way too much
Yeah.
important.
Okay. Yeah, that's
But
better.
basically, I wanted to give an idea of what the AWS marketplace actually is, and how I've seen startups making use of it to actually advertise their software, and also, like, I would say, streamlining the path from acquiring customers and actually billing on their AWS account. This really streamlines procurement for larger customers. It simplifies the management of invoicing and stuff like that, and also the management of your end customers. So this is one option that I've seen adopted by startups over and over and over again, because it's really popular. It's really easy to get started, and it's the shortest path to, I have a product. I want to match it with a market, and this is how I am monetizing on top of it. This is one alternative, and you can sell on the marketplace, like anything from a customized image of a virtual machine, all the way up to your APIs or your machine learning models, or even, for example, a data set. So another customer of mine that I work with, they have data sets which are including data that could be really interesting for some kind of businesses, and they've published I think 13 or 26 data sets in just a couple, I would say, just a couple of hours, because their data set was validated as well, but they were looking for outlets where to put this data. And data is extremely valuable for a lot of companies, because the idea is that you're building, you might want to train your machine learning models onto specialized data sets, and this is absolutely invaluable for them. So yeah, I guess that's if you're searching for business opportunities, this is probably one of the route that I would go through. Uh, Anything else that I forgot, Jamie?
I think all good from my side, and I think we covered all the important points. If there's anything else, okay, okay, Ashish, could you please share the link for
I
the
have
best
a
educational
question.
resource?
I have
Sure.
a question
Oh,
on solution architecting side. So if I'm an enterprise solution architect, or if I'm a startup solution architect, do I need different skill sets?
Hmm.
mm,
Uh, Jamie, I will.
interesting.
Well, I don't know. Can you take that? We've both been enterprise solutions architect before,
Yeah,
so I think I'll
yeah,
leave the floor to you.
yeah. I think, to be honest, it depends. Like, it depends on your interest. Like, if you're really um, I know it's a really difficult question. Like, it depends on your interest and your skill set, right? Um, the difference with startup solutions, like being a startup solutions architect, is that um, you have to know all the latest technologies out there. You have to kind of get yourself out there probably more often, meaning, for example, like generative AI popped up and you have to be up to date in the market. What are the resources? How we can help our customers? And what are the services we're using? What are the new features? Like, all the time, you need to kind of learn, and not just learning for the sake of learning, but also
Mhm.
thinking from customer shoes, like how I'm going to help my customers with these kind of features, services, um, as well. For enterprise, I guess it's less so. I don't want to kind of diminish or do it, say anything negative, but just kind of, it depends also the pace. For enterprise customers, probably there are like specific areas that you need to know, like really, really in depth. Um, and all these new things popping up, you can kind of learn along the way, but probably won't require you to kind of change your direction and the focus area often based on what is popping up new out there. I don't know, this is my 2 cents. Giuseppe, feel free to chip
Yeah.
in.
I think you gave a great overview. Um, I would say that sometimes, with enterprise customers, it might be a little bit more difficult to see the impact you're making there, um, simply because you're dealing with a larger beast. But that's not always the case, because maybe you are lucky enough to work with with enterprise customers that have R&D teams, and they're looking after building something which really needs to be delivered as quickly as possible. So it's really a big a mixed bag. But I would say that maybe with startup you can afford to be a little bit more casual when it comes to like interacting with them. Startups with enterprise customers, maybe you want to be a bit more like classically professional. Let's put it that way. And also like your style of communication can change a lot, because when you're dealing with founders of startups, they might be again more easygoing, but like if you have to deliver a presentation to like the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, maybe you want to not even have like a hoodie like I have always, right? So that's the thing. It really it really depends, and again, every customer is different. The type of relationship that you're going to develop there is is different, and I think it is the job of a solutions architect to build a to build a lasting relationship that is actually putting a customer at their ease, so that you can build that sense of like business intimacy with them. That's probably what I would recommend to newer solutions architect approaching this different type of customers.
Thank you, Giuseppe.
Thank you.
And this was the last session, right, of this
Yeah,
cohort.
I have one more
Um,
question, but I have one more question on the
okay,
same side.
all
Okay,
right.
on so if I'm looking to get hired into these startups, are there any specific places which I should look for, or LinkedIn is the place?
Um, Also, I think that if you want, what really matters the most when you want to be hired as part of a startup is the passion you have for the specific business problem that they're solving. So, like, my advice there would be, look, research the field, like go to Y Combinator, find out what are the hottest startups that resonate with the passion that you have. So what one of the first startups that I worked with was whose goal was actually to deliver mental health services to people online, right? So I'm really into that space. I'm really into mindfulness, and so that was really I would say a calling for me, and I decided to work with them. I approached the founders, and like I made a really strong case to say, hey, I actually want to work on this because this really highly resonates with my passion. So like, get there, get on Y Combinator, find out something that highly resonates with you and your own passions. I mean, technology is one of my passion, but it's not the only one. So like I love like combining those two in my day-to-day job. Reach out, make a strong case. It's while it's true that you might not have the full skill set to deliver for them, but who actually has it, right? Things are becoming increasingly complex, and now developers are asked to being able to build a web application all the way down to integrate AI and ML and generative AI into like a normal workflow, and the skill set that is required to do all of this is absolutely massive. So what I think it matters the most is like the passion you have for that specific business problem, and think it more as a product manager rather than a developer. You will develop your skill set to
Mhm.
actually deliver if you're passionate about the business you're building.
Interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. So
And
I see
so,
Prasad in the chat. Prasad,
yeah, Prasad
which
is
is
here.
very,
I'll add him. So
yeah,
yeah, it
and
is a
Papa
last
as well.
call, and if you have anything else to add, Gasipe and Jamila, let me know or speak up. Or
All good.
people, if you have any questions, feel free to put them into chat. We are happy to answer as many as we can.
Mhm.
And yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let me add Prasad to the
Yeah,
stream.
Prasad, hello.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Wow, this was really a good talk. Thanks Jamila and Josipe for that.
Thank you.
It's
And
and
you haven't
thank you everyone
prepared.
for. You don't need any preparation, man. Come on, you're naturals, you know. Yeah, it's
Thank
great.
you.
Like I'm learning so much about startups. So
Yeah,
back,
and
around probably before a decade before I tried doing my own startup, and long before, AWS. Now I know that AWS was there at that time, but I was not aware of AWS at that time at all. Uh, but it got busted in, 6 months or so, and I had to come back to a full-time job. But now when I see these kinds of resources available now, then probably this is the time when all of, everyone who is interested in startups, it's so easy for them to bootstrap, both in terms of technology perspective, even from
mhm.
idea perspective and everything. It's a great time to be in that we are right now.
Yeah.
And then you have support from awesome folks like Jamila and Giuseppe to help you succeed.
Thank
Good.
you.
I want to take one question from the audience, and it is very relevant, I feel so. So let me
Sorry,
put that
sorry,
on the
Ashish. Before you
screen.
take your question, can we add partner as well to the stream? She's been
She's
in
coming.
well.
She's joining in
Yeah.
a minute.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So question is, I will be
Mhm.
working on IaaS part to get SA job. Do I need to get serverless or need to get more experience in IaaS as well? Where is the inclination of startups? Do they use serverless more, or they do go with the traditional EC2 RDS kind of a stuff?
Let's first probably open up what is IaaS, infrastructure as a service, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just to have a good.
Um, I have a caveat for that question, which is it depends on the stage of the startup. Like it was, we're saying, like, are they building an MVP? Like, is your focus like we need to go to the market, we need to test the waters, we need to understand if these ideas is actually valuable? Then probably I would suggest customers to look into serverless solutions because they really marry well with the business model that you're trying to boot up. Um, mm, until probably you're 100 users, you will remain into the AWS free tier, or you probably start eroding into your credits. But let's say that serverless technologies allow you to build a business model that would scale with your usage. So you're not investing from the get go. You don't have to put like a loads of money into like procuring yourself a server, like in build buying software and stuff like that. Once you start scaling up, then it's time to actually start looking into your long-term strategy. And I would say that you will probably end up dealing more with like traditional IT topics, such as, oh, I want to build this on a containerized platform. I want to have like a large relational database, maybe if you need it. That's not the case always. And we see customers consistently shifting from the traditional idea of having everything into one database to like having databases that are built for purpose. So I would say depends on the grade of maturity that of the business that you're dealing with. So I would research that business. I would ask your hiring manager at what stage of development you are, what are the major blockers here, what is the roadmap in the next 6 months or the next year, where do you want to be, and that will tell you a bit more about working backwards from the needs of the business. You will understand in which kind of field to specialize, if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
I,
sense. So yeah, I would say it depends. So that is what solution architect should be answering most questions with. As I said in my first station, it depends. So yeah, there are a lot of factors. It's not always like black and white answer. There is a lot of gray areas to cover. So yeah, best answer would be it depends. Thank you. All right. And I led Perna also to stream. So we are missing James and some other people, but yeah, this has been like been interesting 12 weeks, and I couldn't like realize that we just completed 12 weeks. I feel like we just started the session, and we are not stopping. We are pausing. We will be like introspecting and collecting feedback from you all, like we what we could do to make things better. And let me talk to each of them, Prasad, KCP, Parna, Jamila, how you felt. For me, I will start first. I was elated to handle these sessions. Means technical perspective, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of behavioral things, and we had interesting guest speaker. And this coordination between all of it, even our session went to like 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes 3.5 hours, and people were still stick to it. So that was so humbling, I would say. So it was a really humbling experience for me. How about others?
I can go next. It's been an amazing ride, to be honest. Like it's now, like I see it's batch 3. It's written there, and I cannot believe, like, oh my god, time flies. It is really humbling experience to join the sessions, to deliver. I learned a lot during this whole time, and our guest speakers been amazing, and the whole team, to be honest. Like how we are supporting each other during our good and bad times is just unbelievable, especially when we get busy. I remember couple of days ago, Parna messaged me internally on Slack and just checking on me. It literally made my eyes like teary, like, oh my god, like I didn't join a couple of sessions, I was busy dealing with some other things, and there are actually people who noticed it and who is pinging. And Prasad is the same, like he saw my Slack kind of status that I'm in the office, and he's pinging, I'm in the office too, let's grab coffee. And other team members too, like with Giuseppe, we're working shoulders to shoulders in the office, Ashish as well. So it's like all the other team members, like we kind of built like a proper community, which is really kind of humbling and really an awesome experience, and I'm just loving to be part of it.
Maybe I'll go next. I made Jamina cry on screen.
A little bit, yes.
All right. So I absolutely love Bess. Everybody knows it. I don't think it's a fact that it's hidden. So yeah, it's season 3. Today's the last day, and it's been awesome, both technically and the kind of guests. And obviously, we've got so many experts in this team. You can see the different kinds of perspective we are getting in. So right from say technical perspective, solution architects, startups, and it's great. All the different guests we had this season, absolutely amazing to hear them as well. And I'm sure all you guys who are still there, you'll come back, get your friends, get your allies, and keep posting, reposting, and let's have a fabulous next session as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, from my
Yes, yes.
perspective, being a guest here has been again a humbling experience. I'm overwhelmed with joy just to see like the type of engagement that we have. It's been really useful for me to like start developing my skills as a public speaker. I know that when I started doing this stuff, it was really challenging for me. So like I guess that the invitation from my side is like never stop like pushing the envelope and like trying to outstep your comfort zone because only good things come out of it. And I wanted to thank you folks for having me today and in the past few sessions that we've delivered together. It's been really a I would say an interesting learning experience that I would love to repeat in the next few sessions.
Thanks. Yeah. So from me, like I have seen this community growing from day one till where we are right now, and there's nothing more that I can add. What others have spoken, it's been really humbling experience. Like and that we think about from where we started to where we are now. It's amazing journey, and it's a quite good learning journey also for us. It's it's not just that we are here to help others, but it is also helping us a lot to understand ourselves. But now I would like to look forward. Like we have a strong 3,000 plus LinkedIn community, and we have this great community. So how we all can help each other to actually scale even further, and find avenues to help more people. So now it's more than important for us to get all the feedback. So feel free to let us know what you would like to see in the future sessions. We should be starting the batch for in a while, where we try like in between we will regroup. We'll try and take all the feedback that we had, both positive and critical. We would like to hear any critical feedback that you have, or anything that like we can do to improve. One thing definitely that we see is that probably we are not very good in sticking to timings, which is in a good way. Like we have so many people and we are trying to share more and more that we have. So we think that it will be a 2 hour session, but it generally extends to become a 2.5, 3, and sometimes it even become a 3.5 hour session, both positive and negative. But we'll see how, to be respectful of everyone times. Like we understand it is a weekend, and you are taking out time to like come and join us, and that's why we try and see how we can upload the videos. And thanks Ashish for leading that effort. Uh, in a way, Ashish has been the backbone of all of this. The way he tries and holds us all together in terms of like planning the sessions for next week, ensuring that the stream starts on time, the videos are uploaded on time, the GitHub page is uploaded on time. So kudos to you, Ashish. It would not have been
Uh,
possible without you
it's a
having
team
having.
effort. It's a team effort.
Yes, but you have been gluing the team together
Yeah,
a lot. So
I mean,
thank you so
somebody
much.
has to do it, isn't it?
So so
Yeah, I mean,
it's it's a
it's
it's
humbling. It's
yeah,
humbling.
it's a born leadership quality, I would say, that you have. So that how you lead this. So thank you so much. And everyone, for all of us, it's not easy, like having this time commitment of 12 weeks, every weekend, and then during the weekdays to prepare and think about what we need to do. And thanks Parna for like having, inviting different guest speakers. This is really good. And these were, like folks even in the audience, in case if you know anyone who you think would be interested in coming on the show, and whom you think our audience would be, like benefiting when we invite them on the show, and then they'll be sharing their either success story or insights with everyone. So we look forward to having these continued conversations with you all on the LinkedIn group. So feel free to like continue the conversation, not only with us but among each other also. And in case if you're, let's say, studying for your any essay associate certification, just ping on the group. There might be other people on the same journey. So try and create a small group, and that is required even more for professional certifications, because professional certifications are real tough, man. So, and even mine is expired, so I need to find somehow time to study again and renew it. But yeah, let's keep this conversation going, and I love the community that we have built. Let's keep it up.
Yeah, means I'm getting a lot of suggestions there, and keep these suggestions coming. I won't say that we would be able to accommodate everything, but we will be honest in looking into it and seeing how we could address all these things. So we will try our best. Time zone is a challenge. I understand, Deepa, that we experimented with time zone change in batch two. It worked well for some people, didn't work well for someone else. But yeah, we are open to suggestions. Means, see, we do not know what we could do better unless somebody tells us. So just tell us what we can do. Anything could be, maybe having we are having some thoughts, but if you give us idea like where you are struggling, where we could help, and if we have skill set around it, we will try to see that what we can do. So anything, any small idea, and if you are shy, don't want to put it in LinkedIn group, want to reach out independently, feel free. Put it on LinkedIn, share it through email, whatever works for you. But yeah, we want to make it a community, not like a one-sided effort, like only anyone is delivering and others are listening. But let's make it community so everyone would get benefit from it. So any idea, small, relevant, irrelevant, complex, easy, or maybe completely out of the box, whatever it is, just bring to us. We will give it a genuine look, and then we'll see how we could improve it. One thing I want to share, like on the screen, I have on, if you go to the page on the BESA, this time we add this. So I was able to put all these links of the previous session who have not attended, like a clickable link. So you do not need to go to individual YouTube sections and search for it. So you should be able to click, okay, what was the agenda for week 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm interested only on those specific topics. So that should is available to you as a handy list. So leverage that also. Previous batch list is playlist is there. We haven't organized in that manner like this one is, but these playlists will give you a good idea on how all these components fit together. And any other suggestion, like what other resources which you could add, what else we could do, so let us know, and we would try to accommodate those things also. So that's how we want to thrive, and we would try to have more inclination towards other programs who are running in AWS who could be beneficial. So we are doing a lot of internal networking inside AWS to see how we could leverage existing platforms like AWS Restart or AWS Reskill or any other thing, so that we could leverage that and bring more resources to you as a BESA community.
Yes, as Ashish mentioned, and there is an internal team with the early talent community, and we will soon be, like we are in talks with that team, and we will soon be posting how you can actually like join that community. There are a few steps to do that, and get some learning badges and stuff. We are collecting all that information, and we'll share that in the LinkedIn group so that you all can do that and join that early talent community, which is worldwide, handled by the AWS team, and it will be helping you to access more resources, certification vouchers, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we are trying how all we can collaborate with other teams to scale it more. But in case if you have any ideas, uh, or external groups that you are aware of, with whom we can collaborate and scale this, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, that would be nice. And thanks, Parna, for sharing this website. I put together some of the resources I created on this website. So if you want something, let's just check it there. I put some service summary cards, some of the YouTube videos and recordings. So that could be something to munch on till we have another BESA session. So we will quickly start. We will do a introspection, figure out what can be done better. And we would need your idea, guys. Means that is important. Otherwise, we would be driving like without a car without a navigation system. So it won't work. We need to find out what can be done better. And based on that, we will take care of that. Yeah. Thank you.
And if you all already don't know, Ashish book is actually
Oh,
it
yeah,
got
that is
published
another one.
yesterday, right?
Yeah, it
Let
was
me
released
find.
yesterday, so it is a publicly available now. It was soft copy was available few weeks back, but now the book is available, and you can get that detail on the BESA on my website analogiescloud.com. So that book is purely on analogies. I clubbed with some other trainers and was able to put them into a book format. So check that book also. It is from Pact Publishing.
I'm already promoting your book and
Oh,
your style of explaining things to people who reach out to me internally and ask for mentorship, specifically how to upskill in cloud and how to learn cloud skills. So we have in Amazon, in AWS, we have lots of roles that are not technical, but they
yeah.
want to learn. But they don't know how. So, Ashish, honestly, like this program and your analogies concept being an instrumental during their development as well. And I just keep saying them that I personally learn a lot how to connect the dots. And
Thank
you should get
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's see. I'm not sure how much sale it would make, but yeah, means all open. Thank you. So check this book out. There may be some Kindle edition available, so check that too. If it is, I do not have control on the cost. Otherwise, I would have made that into much lesser prices. I think price is higher, but the publisher work in their own way on deciding the price of the book. So I couldn't do anything on that, but I'll see if we can have like a referral program where this book can be made available on a lower price, but I am not sure on this right now, but I'll check. Thank you.
Thank you. Well,
All
it's been a
right,
pleasure.
so same here. Have everyone good weekend, and hopefully we will have a better way to connect back with you. Keep your ideas coming, and we will share more details about the next cycles. What do you want to see in next cycle? We have some plans in mind. We want to run some tracks about maybe security, maybe migration, maybe analytics, but let us know. Based on collective feedback, we will start again. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.